Hello and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top 5. It is the week of July 12th, 2018. I'm Brandon Zeck.
I'm Elaine Bradford.
And I'm Sara, Cress.
And we are here at Lawndale, and we have, well, more on that in a second, but we have a top 5 list that kind of is wordy, book-ish themed.
Yes.
A little bit to go along with your show that we're standing in that we're going to talk about in a second. Number 5 this week is a show called Object Lessons. DeFeo works on paper from the 1970s at Galerie Elba in Dallas. This show's been up for a while. I actually saw it during my time at the Dallas Art Fair. Galerie Elba is a relatively new space in Dallas's design district. The show actually closes July 14th. Christina just wrote a review about it that we'll link to in the post. But this show is exploring DeFeo's kind of obsession of her time with tripods, with kind of the weird anthropomorphic qualities of them and how she can depict them in different ways: drawings, collages, photographs, photocopies. DeFeo, if you aren't familiar with her, you might know her famous piece, The Rose, which is owned by the Whitney. It's this huge, I guess you could call it a weird painting sculpture hybrid. And, this is work that probably hasn't been recognized that much since it was made.
And who doesn't love a tripod?
They're everywhere, and you'll never look at a tripod the same way.
Number 4 is Carrie Leibovitz Museum Show at the Contemporary Arts Museum Houston. It's been open for a little while, since May, and I saw the show today, and I went in and I was immediately charmed and laughing, which is rare for an art show for me. I felt really comfortable laughing. I knew I was supposed to laugh. And I found the show to be highly Instagrammable.
I did not see the show today, but I saw it a while ago, and I was surprised at how much I loved the show and really related to the work in the show. I think it's going to be familiar for many people to go in there and feel these feelings that he is putting on the wall.
And actually tonight, Thursday night, there's going to be a comedy show featuring a bunch of local comedians. We wrote some news about that, so go check that out tonight.
Number 3 this week is Patent Pending, The Art of Invention. It's at the Contemporary Art Museum in Plainview. It's kind of a huge summer group show of artists who were given patent books and then asked to make a piece in response to something about the patent book, using the patent book, something they find in the patent book. And it should be a really interesting show. I'm excited about the Contemporary Art Museum in Plainview. I'm excited that somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Texas has this great space. They've done an amazing job with the building. So I think everybody should go and see it.
In Patent Pending, there's been a few now. I think this is the 4th iteration of the show. John Whitfield, who is a Lubbock area-based artist, has organized this show multiple times, so there's a lot of Lubbock connections, but there also are national and international artists and people that have moved away from Texas that are in it too. And number 2 this week, we're here. It's y'all's show, Routine Fables at Lawndale. Tell us about it.
Routine Fables is a show of 52 sculptures and 52 poems that Sara and I made throughout 2017. I made a sculpture every week, and she wrote a poem in response to it.
Mm-hmm. And when you come into this show, you will see all of the poems written on the wall, as you can see. And then there's also, to put it in perspective, there's a timeline throughout the show where you can kind of place yourself and where we were during the year.
Yeah, you can see all the bad stuff that happened and try to figure out how it relates to the sculptures that were produced around that time.
The timeline might be one of my favorite parts of the show.
Of course it is. I don't even know why we make art anymore.
So if you're in Houston, this show's up until the end of July?
July 29th.
And there's going to be a poetry reading soon, right?
It's an artist talk and poetry reading. We're going to have a conversation about the show, and I'm just going to read a few poems, and we'll talk more about specific sculptures and poems. If anyone would like to, just come and chat at us.
It's this Sunday, July 15th at 2 p.m. here at Lawndale Art Center. Number 1 this week is Dario Robleto, Ancient Beacons Long for Notice. It's his kind of retrospective-ish show at the McNay. It's It's his return to his hometown of San Antonio. I think it's the first big show he's had there since he was an Art Pace resident in 2000.
18 years ago.
18 years ago, which is actually the first time I saw his work, was that Art Pace show, and I fell in love with his work and have loved it ever since. So I'm very excited to go see this show in San Antonio.
The show's kind of installed in a space where the McNay usually does like theater collection shows, works from their really kind of robust theater
I know
collection.
what room you're talking about.
It's just like Dario to not use traditional space, just like he doesn't use traditional materials. And the install images that we've seen of this show have been really beautiful.
Dario uses a lot of odd materials in his work. He does tons of research and works with scientists and finds things on eBay and collectors. And he's using everything from dinosaur bones to things that have gone to the moon to like his record collection from when he was a child, and transforms them into these objects. You don't even know that unless you read descriptions of the work, kind of like this story that goes along with his work. So it goes along with our theme of words this week.
And that's our top 5.
Yay, top 5.
Enjoy your weekend.